Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, at Always the Radio. Today, we're at the Pokémon World Championships. I'm going to show you around. We start off with our view going through the door. We've got the Welcome Trainers banners. Like every year at Worlds, there are big old banners everywhere showing you that you are, in fact, at the World Championships. And there's a lot of fun stuff to be done. Do I feel self-conscious walking through Worlds, chatting away? Yes, I do. But we did it at the Pokémon Center the other day, and that went pretty well. So I figured, why don't we try doing it again? Okay, didn't off security. That's a good start. We are going to head on over to Hall C to begin. 3 halls at the World Championships. Hall C is kind of your extra stuff. Yeah, pin trading, photo opportunities, things of that nature. Hall B is where the actual tournament is going on, and then Hall A is basically side events and vendors. Side events and vendors, I think, is probably fairer to put it. So we're going to start off in Hall C. We're going to have a look at all the fancy stuff going on. We've got, firstly, if you've never been to Worlds, this is fantastic. You've basically just got a whole bunch of stuff everywhere. Everywhere you look, there is World stuff going on. There's a collect and trade corner over there. We have got ourselves an art showcase. We're not going to go in because that would take forever. Yes, you'll notice there are many, many people here. But over in the art showcase room, there are just a whole bunch of themed artworks, all from the black and white era, because of course black bottom, white flare, the most recent set that was released. We have a collect and trade corner over there we mentioned. Now the museum is especially cool. We're going to have to walk through people, it's going to be fine. The museum is basically where they show off kind of World's history. So we've got competitor kits from previous years all being shown off over here. Your hats, your bags, things of that nature. It goes all the way down, including, let's face it, Worlds 22, first year I casted. Oh my, yes. So we've got a whole bunch of Worlds merch being shown off. Now there's pin trading over there. Queue is actually kind of massive. Pin trading, you go there, you get your first pin, and then there's different spots around the venue where you can go and pick up extra pins. They are awesome. Now this has actually been out at a bunch of events previously, but this is where they've got all the Pokemon games displayed with the hardware on which you would have originally played them. And then we've got a whole bunch of Pokemon plush from Worlds, and a whole bunch of your Tropical Beach, well, not all Tropical Beach, all your World's promo cards from throughout the years. It's called a museum for a reason. Now, we've also got winning teams from VG throughout the year, and if we just head on back around here to the one bit we missed, we've got the World's decks throughout the year. These are the ones that are actually released, and this cabinet of the 3 Worlds I casted year, so basically, yeah, they're the most important ones. Now there is a whole bunch of other stuff going on in this hall. We've got a fan workshop zone, that's where things get made and done, which is very, very cool. And one of the most cool things we've got here, the Toyota Engineering Society Miraidon project. It's literally like a Miraidon bike. It's phenomenal. It was supposed to turn on yesterday at 10 o'clock, got cancelled, a little bit sad. There is a creator zone where you can meet creators. There is an autograph room. I was in there yesterday. Joe and I did a meet and greet and autograph. So the creator room is the more kind of casual, and then the autograph room is the one where you had to book a time slot in advance. Creator room, you can just kind of rock up, it's an open queue. The autograph room was very much do it in advance. And this is the programming stage. This is where I was yesterday doing my panel with a lovely Cerebi Joe. It was awesome. And then one of the coolest photo ops at the World Championships. If you played Gen 1 back in the day on the Game Boy, this is going to mean a lot to you. If you didn't, that's okay. But I do feel like it's a bit less special at that point. Now, the Pikachu and Friends meet and greet. They've got a bunch of mascots here that they cycle out. It seems to be about every 20 minutes. Right now it's Gengar, sometimes it's Eevee, Pikachu, Snorlax. There are a bunch of mascots that essentially get cycled out as we go. And there's back to the programming stage. Okay, that is most of what we've got here in Hall C. So we've got Creator Zone, autographs, programming stage, Miraidon, the museum. I love the museum. The museum makes me so happy. Especially the last 3 years, 22 to 24, when I was at Worlds and casting. oh, the nostalgia hits hard. And then, you know, your collect and trade, your art showcase, etc., your workshop zone. Hall C, I kind of think of Hall C as kind of like your extra stuff. This is, if you're not really that interested in playing, or you want to take a break from playing, Hall C is your jam. So let's move on to Hall B. And you already know what's in Hall B. First things I told you, but also because Hall B is the one that's got the Pikachu hanging from the ceiling. You know what that means. The Pikachu hanging from the ceiling means we go and play some games. This is where we've got the playing areas for the main event. Oh, these are the designs mostly, not the Pachirisu or the Meowth. Okay, some of these are designs for the pins. The Vanillite is a pin, the Machamp is not, Fennekin is, Chansey isn't, but Froakie is. Now, here we've got what is usually my jam at Worlds. This is where we've got the stage, and we've got all the players over there. Lots of players, big stage, wonderful design. And then over here we got the Hive. These are the people who are doing the good work, making sure everything runs properly. We love the Hive are amazing. And then we have big screens showing off, so you can kind of join in with the fun of the World Championships. Now we have pairings. That's over there, that's where you find out who you're playing. Although for TCG Masters, a lot of the time this is all online, but still. We have some more casual games going on over there. Well, more when there were more people yesterday, there were more people playing. There we go. We've got some more tables not in use. We're in Saturday here, so there's fewer people playing. A lot of people have, unfortunately, already been eliminated. More stage, more players, and a big crowd of people. There's seating down the front where you can just sit and watch the games. Usually a crowd assembles around the tables. People want to see their friends. And you can also watch what's on the screen while you're there. And then some other games going on here with cameras so people can watch. You're not just limited. Although don't talk about ongoing matches, that is very naughty. So Hall B very much is your playing. This is where Worlds is really happening in terms of the tournament, players, screens, desk, stage, and the best views for the opening and closing ceremonies. So, now that we've had a look at that, let's head on over into Hall C. No, that was the last one. Hall A. Hall A is others. No, Hall A is basically side events and vendors. We said Hall C was other stuff. Let's call Hall A side events and vendors. Although there is a lot of stuff in Hall A that would feel right at home in Hall C. We've got things like photo opportunities, and that's not a particularly big one, I'll be honest with you. But this is kind of like celebrating a lot of the properties Pokemon have at the moment. We've got a big Pokemon Go section where you can go and get yourself some tickets for in-game items. We've got Big Daddy Snorlax. We've got ourselves Pokemon Horizons playing on a big... I love that they've just got a screen they've made to look like a telly. This makes me very happy. One of my legit favorite things here, we've got a Bandai Namco model kit series booth where you just kind of rock up and buy model kits. I'd love to tell you that I had enough self-control that when I came here yesterday I didn't buy model kits. That would be a lie. I absolutely did. Build-A-Bear have come out. You can come and buy. I don't think you can make the Build-A-Bear here, but there's plenty of Build-A-Bear to come and buy. And I don't know, I'm not that up on Build-A-Bear. I'm assuming they've got most of the exclusives. Now, the queues here are largely for the pin trading. We basically got Get In to Play Pokemon, and then next to that we got First Book, a wonderful charity that, I think they're a charity, certainly an organisation that just gets books to children in need. It's wonderful. Wonderful people. Chatting to them earlier, they were lovely. 2 of the pins are being given out there, and I don't think that's a coincidence. There may be stands that most people wouldn't go and get to normally, so giving pins away to make sure people head on over makes sense. We then got a bunch of vendors here. I had a look at some vendors earlier. Fair to say the prices were... I'm not paying $25 for a mini tin. I think it's probably the best way to put it. Oh look, it's the boss. Now we have more vendors over here. We're not going to go and have a big old look at the vendors. I don't think we need to. Just to note that there are a bunch of vendors around here.
That's what it looks like.
Okay, let's get the camera under control. Now, what is far more interesting We have a Pokemon Legends ZA demo. Now this was something you had to sign up for online. You could not just walk up. This is the same demo that I did on Wednesday and posted about already. So if you want to see my thoughts on that, they're already on the channel. We've got ourselves the tower. The booth for Pokemon ZA looks absolutely phenomenal. They're actually plastic standees of Zygarde, not cardboard. They have gone, frankly, the extra mile. We've got one of the best photo opportunities. There's two really good photo ops as far as I'm concerned. There's Nidorino against Gengar, and then we got the red versus blue here. Yes, I have partaken. They are wonderful. We also have ourselves a Pokemon Pocket stand where you can go and take some pictures with giant pocket cards. I think I've made it quite clear so far on the channel that I'm quite partial to Pokemon TCG Pocket. I'm a big fan, although they've got Pocket Open going on in the side events at the event, and I'm not able to take part. Every time I've got something which I've been, which I've agreed to do, and it's like 2 hours into the Pokemon Pocket side event. So I'm not actually able to join in at any point. Now these are side event tables. People come and sign up, do some side events, have some fun. They've got some wild side events going on. There's one Shay was doing yesterday, lovely Shay Burton, where every time a Pokemon got knocked out, you roll a dice, and it could be things like you get to change one of your opponent's Pokemon's weakness to whatever you want, or you get to get the Pokemon that was just knocked out back from the discard with 2 energy and 2 tools attached. And then here we've got the other phenomenal photo op. I should have come here yesterday when the queue was much shorter. I didn't. I feel silly. But we've got a specific Legend ZA Pikachu coming out with a Lumio City map. It's redonk. And then we've got more, and these are again, they're plastic, not cardboard. Why is that relevant? Because it shows the faith Pokemon have in ZA, and it shows how much they are pushing it. And yeah, we've got a sign there for partners and merchants. Now that is basically what there is to see at the Pokémon World Championships 25 here in Anaheim. There's a prize wall over there where you can get various stuff. There is actually, it's one of those things that there's not, always a million things on the side event wall that are, or the prize wall that are exclusive, but you might note there is right where the arrow is pointing, there is a side event playmat which is exclusive and can only be gotten here. It's also 500 tickets. And then there's more tables of people playing side events and having fun playing Pokemon. So there we go. 3 halls of fun. Oh, actually, look over there. There's retro video games. I played a bunch of Pokemon Pinball. It was awesome. So there we go. That's the Pokemon World Championships. 3 halls of fun, lots to do. I've showed you it all now. So now it's over to you guys. Usual deal, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio. Bye.